There have been many, many songs written about specific girls or with girls' names in them.
Emily, Emily, or Nancy.
Now Peggy, my Peggy too. Angie, Angie.
Joelene, 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 Joelene.
My Sharona. Carrie doesn't live here anymore. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart.
They say, Brandy, you're a fine girl.
Michelle, my belle.
The list goes on. But what do you do when you've written a love song, you want to put a girl's name in it, but you can't come up with a name that fits? Some might call it quits. Others might put in a placeholder word until the right name comes along. Something maybe you just came up with in the stu-stu-studio. Sometimes you release the song with the placeholder word still in place. And that's exactly what our Song of the Day artist did with one of the most recognisable songs of the 1980s. I'm talking about Genesis frontman and solo artist, vocalist and tub thumper Phil Collins and 1985's Sussudio.
There's a girl that's been on my mind all the time. Sussudio.
So, name your child a nonsense word and join me for this week's 80s Song of the Day. Phil Collins began his musical career as the drummer for Genesis, and when singer Peter Gabriel left the band, Phil became its lead vocalist as well. Collins joined Genesis in 1970 after responding to a newspaper ad for a drummer and a backup vocalist. At the time, Genesis was a hard-working band, but they weren't yet famous, and Collins fit right in. After Peter Gabriel left in 1975, Collins took over as lead singer, co-producer and principal songwriter. Under Collins, Genesis shifted from complex, conceptual, artsy music to a more radio-friendly sound, and it gained them their first American hit with Follow You, Follow Me, and then, a few years later, Invisible Touch. And it seems like Phil was particularly good at multitasking. Drummer and vocalist is a pretty rare combination. Karen Carpenter did it as well as a few others, but Collins also managed to have a successful career as a solo artist while simultaneously fronting Genesis as well. Collins launched his solo career in 1981 with Face Value, featuring the hit In the Air Tonight, a song that he famously wrote on the fly while jamming with a new drum kit. He was also working as a producer for other artists and Genesis while maintaining both careers. This dual trajectory was unusually quite successful for him, with Collins achieving 14 solo top 40 hits in the 1980s. Few musicians have managed this level of simultaneous success in both band and solo contexts. Released in 1985, No Jacket Required marked a shift in Collins' style towards more up-tempo, dance-oriented tracks. He included noted guest artists like Sting and Peter Gabriel on backing vocals, and the album title came from a real-life incident at a Chicago restaurant where Collins was denied entrance for not wearing a dinner jacket, inspiring the sneering title. Collins performed the majority of instrumental parts himself, although Genesis sideman Daryl Sterner contributed guitar work. The album's blend of emotional ballads and funk R&B influences resonated widely. Chart-wise, No Jacket Required was a phenomenal hit. #1 in 11 countries, including Australia, the UK and the US. It sold over 25 million copies worldwide. It got 3 Grammy Awards in 1985 for Best Album, Best Male Pop Vocal Performance, and for Producer of the Year. It was certified diamond in the US and 6 times platinum in the UK. In fact, it was the second best-selling album in the UK in 1985, beaten only by another powerhouse group and album, Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits. The No Jacket Required World Tour included 85 concerts and famously concluded with performances get this, at both Live Aid stadiums, London and Philadelphia, on the same day. That's right. On July 13th, 1985, Collins performed Against All Odds and In the Air Tonight at both Live Aid concerts, in London's Wembley Stadium and then in Philadelphia's JFK Stadium, flying on the Concorde between venues to be able to achieve the back-to-back appearances. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. Hit singles from the album included One More Night, Don't Lose My Number, Take Me Home, and our song of the day, Sussudio. Sussudio was released in early 1985 and quickly climbed the charts. It reached number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100, number 8 in Australia, and number 12 in the UK. Sussudio has a manic energy with Motown-style influences. Inspired by the sound of Prince's music from that era, it's a prime example of mid-80s pop excess. Lyrically, the song tells the story of a schoolboy's crush on a girl. Sussudio is used as a stand-in name for the object of the boy's affection, rather than referring to any real individual. Sussudio was a made-up word that emerged spontaneously while he was improvising lyrics over a drum machine at home. It was, as I said, a placeholder word, and although he originally did intend to replace it, no other name matched its cadence and feel, so he kept it as Sussudio.
Stu-stu-studio. What does that mean exactly? What were you thinking of when you wrote that?
Well, quite simple, really. It's a word that I made up. I didn't even make it up. It just came out of my mouth when I was, recording at home.
All right.
But
Hold it. A word that just came out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And the world music buying public is supposed to put their money down for a word that just dropped out of your mouth.
But they laughed at Bebop-a-Lula,
Are you sure they laughed at it?
I don't know. I wasn't around, but I'm sure that someone must have laughed at Bebop.
You're sitting there and you're
Bebop.
just sort of phonetically making noise while you write this song.
Yes, I write the music and then I sing into a microphone, blah, 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 Sussudio, just because the rhythm of the word felt so good. And I was originally going to replace it, but I couldn't find a word that meant anything that scanned as well. So I got stuck with it. So I had to reverse it and think, okay, well, this is the word. What does it mean? So I invented a meaning, which is actually a girl's name.
So now it becomes the name of a girl.
Yeah.
Collins has reinforced that the word itself remains essentially abstract, existing mainly for its musical and rhythmic quality. And what about that bass line? The bass line for Sussudio was originally created as a synth bass part performed and programmed by David Frank of group The System, using a Minimoog synthesizer for the studio recordings. In live performances, legendary session bassist Leland Sklar played the bass part on electric bass, using effects like an envelope filter to mimic the song's iconic synth bass sound, but at the same time adds a more organic feel to the music. It really is a very standout and unusual sound. The album's title and creation of Sussudio both stem from spontaneous, real-life moments and playful exploration rather than careful design, seemingly a signature style of Phil Collins. So there you have it, Sussudio by Phil Collins. That's your 80s song of the day. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, just say the word and join me next time for another 80s song of the day. Sussudio was released in early 1985 and quickly chimed... First mistake. Sussudio was released in early 1985 and quickly climbed the charts. It's a tongue twister, folks.
slave.